Hi guys, so today I'm showing you this easy, fast, everyday drugstore makeup tutorial, which is the kind of look that I wear every day when I just can't be bothered getting super glam and getting all the eyeshadows and colour and glitter out and so on and so forth. It's a really easy look that absolutely anyone can do. So if you want to learn how to go from the left to the right, then all you have to do is keep watching. First off, I'm taking the Freedom Oil Controlled Base just to make sure that all of that foundation and concealer that I'm going to put on stays put and lasts all day and applies really smoothly. You can of course use whichever primer you think would work best for you. This one's best suited for oily skin. Next I'm taking the Bourjois Healthy Mix Concealer. And I'm just popping that over anywhere where I've got some discoloration or spots or scars or other marks which need a little bit more coverage and a little bit more concealing. I apply it with my fingers, but of course you can use a brush or a beauty blender. I just think that fingers work equally well and they're so much faster, and obviously you then don't have another brush that you have to wash, which is always a plus. Next I'm taking the Bourjois Air Mat Foundation. And again, I'm just using my fingers to tap that over everywhere where I want the foundation's cover. Again, you can of course use a brush if you prefer, but I genuinely just prefer to use my fingers. This bit's really unprecise, just slap it on. Next I take a damp beauty blender. I've dampened it with fixing spray just to make sure there's some extra longevity going on in my makeup, and I'm dabbing that over so that we get a nice, even finish. Next I'm going back in with that concealer and I'm popping that under the eyes. I don't do the whole colour correcting thing because I think quite often it leaves kind of a weird colour cast, so I just use regular concealer. And again I'm just blending that in with a damp blending sponge. Next I'm taking the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer, which I think is just pure silica powder. And I'm tapping that underneath the eyes first off to make sure that that under eye concealer doesn't crease. And then I kind of pounce it just all over my face to make sure that all of that foundation and concealer is set. And then I kind of buff it in circular motions. And when I've done buffing it in circular motions, I then just kind of stroke the brush down my face to make sure any little peach fuzz and stuff lies flat against the skin and doesn't create a kind of a weird texture effect. Then I'm using the Freedom Pro HD Eye Primer. And I'm just popping that over the eye area and blending that in with my fingers. I'm not wearing eyeshadow for this look because day to day I just can't be bothered with it. But it just helps that any powder that we pop over to stay there once we are setting this concealer that I'm putting underneath my brows to hide any redness and discoloration and any super attractive eyebrow stubble. And I'm just setting that with any remaining powder that we've got on that powder brush. Next I'm taking the Sleek Medium Contour Kit, using the contouring side. And I generally just prefer to use contouring powder instead of cream because I think it's so much easier and faster. And I'm applying that with the NYX contouring brush, which is an amazing brush for contouring. It basically does the work for you. And I'm blending that in using circular buffing motions just to make it really seamless. Next I'm taking the Essence Heatwave blush, which has this cool kind of gradient effect from pink to orange. And I swirl those colours together to get kind of a bright corally shade and just apply that using the NYX blush brush. I like to use quite a bit of blusher because I think it just livens up the face a bit, but obviously use as much as you like. Next I'm using the Collection highlighter in Pearl, which is kind of a cream to powder formula. And I'm popping that anywhere where I fancy a bit of highlight, so that's going to be the cheekbones, the nose, just underneath the brows. And a lot of people think that you can't ever use a cream product over your kind of foundation once it's been powdered, but you definitely can so long as you haven't over powdered. and so long as you're using that cream product kind of sparingly. Just blend that in with fingers or a brush. And then we're going to go in with the Sleek Medium Contour Kit again, but this time the highlighter side. And we're using the same brush that we used to powder and just pop in that highlighter over the cream highlighter that we've just used. I think that this gives kind of a nice glowy, lit from within kind of effect. And we're also just popping that highlighter on the inner corners of the eye. Then we're taking the Freedom Brow Pomade in Ebony, which is meant to be a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade. And I go in and just fill in the tail first of all. And then I do kind of the bottom line, just get it kind of sharp. And then work upwards towards the kind of top line using whatever product is left on the brush. And again, using whatever product's left, just do that inner kind of section. And then I use a tiny bit more pomade just to level out the top a little bit more. And obviously repeat the same thing on the other brow. I don't worry too much about getting them entirely symmetrical, but just try your best. And then I go back into the inner corners and make sure there's a nice little fade. And then brush through just to make sure any clumps of brow gel or brow pomade have been taken out. Then I go in with the Essence Lash Princess mascara, which I think is going to be kind of hit and miss because it does come out fairly clumpy. So just use whichever mascara you prefer and whichever mascara type style you like. I tend to do both top and bottom lashes just because I prefer the kind of definition and the balance between the two. Then I take NYX Minimalism Blush, which is kind of a plummy pink kind of shade, but you can use whichever colour you are comfortable with, and I just apply that as usual. Then I take the Makeup Revolution Fixing Spray just to finish everything off. And I spray that all over our makeup to make sure everything lasts all day. And that's the look complete. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and you've looked at a few more products that you could add to your arsenal for your everyday kind of makeup look, and learnt just how easy makeup can be and how much of a nice result you can get quickly and easily and simply. If you've liked this tutorial, then please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on social media if you so desire at beautysbadhabit. Thanks guys!